absolutely dreadful again. And I had just complimented Angel Reese for being efficient. I had just complimented Angel Reese for putting together a respectable performance. Of course, the Chicago Bravado, they still got their ass kicked, but that doesn't matter. All that matters to the lonely men who follow Angel Reese on social media is that she looks good. But like I told you guys the other day, an excellent performance from Angel Reese, it is rare. It's like seeing a hole-in-one on a par 5.
Hey, just one woman on the court beating 5 women. 5 women on the court. That's exactly what happened in tonight's game when the Chicago Sky got destroyed by the freaking Atlanta Dream. Ryan Howard, guys, of the Atlanta Dream, she single-handedly destroyed the entire Chicago Sky single-handedly by herself. This was supposed to be a totally different video, guys. I honestly thought we had it in the bag. I thought Chicago Sky was going to defeat the Atlanta Dream in tonight's game. We were leading for a large part of this game.
What happens when Ryan Unstoppable Howard steamrolls Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky into a game, believing it's just another Tuesday, as if she's running late for a flight? Oh, you're not prepared for this highlight. Bloodbath, a basketball game, evolved into a live demolition, so fasten your seatbelts. We're dissecting how Ryan Howard did more than simply perform. She also kicked the Sky out of the court. Let's get started, shall we?
Second half, Atlanta was hitting their shots, and Chicago was not. Ariel Atkins, I don't know. She's supposed to be a good deep shooter. She was just okay tonight. I don't know what else they're going to do. But they got to find somebody to fill that void. And Ryan Howard got on a heater in the second half. And again, Chicago looked good in the first half. The second half, they just got trashed. They just got trashed. I literally saw one play. Angel Reese is going down the court on a breakaway. She got to steal.
The Atlanta Dream weren't only superior this week, and it's now like watching someone bring a butter knife to a bazooka fight when the Chicago Sky tried to compete. They were all members of the Dream Team, and Chicago was simply slumbering through it. The Sky's the greatest performance of all time.
Talking about that player's the best in the league. But here's the other part, you got to look at it, right? Because you also got Gray, you got Griner, you got Jones. So what happened? The Chicago Sky played some good defense. I mean, whenever the Chicago Sky play their best defense, they don't score. And so it's one of those things, you're a little outgunned. What happened? How did it all start? Where did it all finish? Obviously, Angel Reese just keeps showing up. And last night, Angel Reese went in there 29 minutes, 4-10, right? 4-7 from the free throw line, went ahead and battled, got in there, got 3 assists, got a steal, and finished up with 12 points. But you're going to look at that being a minus 14, just outgunned on the court.
You guessed it, Angel sitting in the first row, wearing a glittering crown of delusion. As the self-proclaimed MVP, superstar, and statistically insignificant contributor, Reese was meant to be the catalyst for change. The catalyst for the revolution, rather. She has been a living example of an Instagram filter. It appears dazzling at first, but there is noise and blur underneath.
Listen, the problem with Chicago Sky, okay, we have a myriad of problems, okay? On court, off court, front office, back office, GM, coach, coaching, assistants, the staff, the players, offensive, defense. But right now, looking at this game, Ryan Howard destroyed us all on her own. Ryan Howard in that third and fourth quarter, mainly in that last fourth quarter, we were down bad by 20 points, guys, because Ryan Howard just continued to drop 3-pointers on us. Rachel Banham gave us some here and there. You know, she tried to do the best she could. Ariel Atkins gave us some here and there. Rebecca Allen, some here and there. Okay? But Ryan Howard acts as the leading 3-point scorer for the...
Boy. Do you think about me now and then? Can you say Shy City? That's that old Kanye when he was regular. Yeah. It's going down in Chicago. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. We got the Chicago Sky general manager, Jeff P., throwing Angel Reese under the bus? Jeff P. said he's had enough of missed layups. Oh my God, Jeff P. When you start acting like this? Oh my God, but I have to keep it real. Jeff P, I'm going to be honest with you before we even get to what you said in the article. The first place you should be looking before you look at Angel Reese to blame her, before you look at Tyler Moore, you need to look in the mirror. You need to look in the mirror. You are the general manager. You are the one responsible for orchestrating and putting the roster together. You put a bum trash roster.
All Nation might be powered by the excitement surrounding her, but the on-court delivery hardly makes a microwave glow. It seems like the other team is thanking her for the additional practice reps each time she takes the floor. Angel Reese handed us a candle that flickered in a windstorm and promised fireworks. Although she has been praised as the franchise's face, her stats thus far seem more like a disappearing act. She was brought in by the Chicago Sky to improve the team, and she succeeded.
Can't blame it on Angel. Angel had a couple bad games, but I mean, at the end of the day, you know, a lot of people own bringing the heat on Tyler Marsh, but listen, I say this all the time, and he has a lot of culpability. Maybe his X's and O's aren't quite where they need to be a coach at this level, but in my opinion, watching the game for myself, Tyler Marsh can't do nothing from this shot.
Straight to the 12th position, last 12 out of 12 in the WNBA standings basement suite. Not first, not fifth, not even a decent 8th. The Sky would be checking if there was a sub-ace in the league. Zillow, and let's not pretend that Atlanta's most recent defeat was merely another lesson. No, Reen Howard and his friends made a public service message stating that the Chicago Sky are officially no longer that team. Atlanta did not simply win. They performed a ballet of dominance while the Sky struggled in a game of hot potato. Chicago was merely counting ceiling tiles in the hopes that it would end quickly, while Ryan Howard had the ball on a string. But let's go back to Angel, because she continues to be the center of this mayhem in some way. She entered the league with more media attention than a royal nuptial. And why? So she could make top-tier excuses and average mid-level numbers. She is chatting more off the court than she is playing, and the outcomes are very telling. Reese is in the cockpit pressing all the incorrect buttons while the Sky is collapsing. This timeline is faulty, so if Angel is the franchise's future, someone should have pressed the reset button. She was supposed to provide vigor, passion, and grit, but instead she's adopting a protective posture akin to a coat rack. Her offense missed her leadership, but she rebounded decently.
Angel Reese and her Chicago Sky brethren got absolutely obliterated by the Atlanta Dream last night. And Ryan Howard, holy moly. Yeah, I said holy moly, flashing back to the 1950s. By the way, I wasn't alive, okay? I'm just letting you know. She destroyed everybody. Everybody. And Angel Reese did Angel Reese things last night.
Let's just say that it's time to leave the ship if she is in charge of it. Reese has spent more time trying to trademark her image than improve her game. And today, we see the repercussions every week in high definition. Fans are burning their expectations in the meanwhile. The illusion is crumbling as the same people who were chanting MVP are now asking why we did this. Like a poorly written CV during a job interview, the notion that Angel Reese was prepared to take over the league has been revealed. It is impossible to succeed in professional sports via bluffing. Additionally, Reese is using a pair of twos to bluff, while the other's a royal flush is being played by the league. The hopeful souls of even the most upbeat admirers are beginning to awaken. Squinting at the scoreboard, they watch the games and gradually come to the realization that this isn't a passing lull. This is not a scenario where she needs more time. There is a problem situation in Houston. The goal of Reese was to alter the culture. She has instead substituted asking for mercy for playoff aspirations. And since a club has just two choices when they are in last place, let's speak about those locker room sentiments, shall we? Band together or blame
thought it was overblown. I thought that it was just a fun thing to do on the internet and it couldn't be that bad. But the fact is, Angel Reese sucks. And by saying that she sucks, what I mean is that she's not good at doing basketball things.
That building doesn't appear to be a trust fall exercise. Nothing exists in terms of chemistry, Angel Reese isn't leading the charge when your superstar is too preoccupied with studying film and counting her social media likes. She is spearheading a gradual decline in relevance. Her supporters want to brag about her college achievements as if they grant her eternal protection. However, it is now the professionals and not the NCAA. The lighting is hotter, the training wheels are off, and Angel is blindfolded as he rides a unicycle through a minefield. Her effect is negligible, her figures are unimpressive, and her impact is essentially detrimental. While the genuine ballers are running laps around her, she is out there doing cardio exercises. Real rookies are taking over games and carrying teams, while other rookies are out there making statements and changing the narrative. However, Angel is occupied with honing her frown. It seems like the same old plot is repeated in every game. Big talk, poor performance, and a disorganized team. Rinse and repeat. Reviews of Angel Reese's career would read, beautiful trailer, no substance.
Defense. I mean, whenever the Chicago Sky play their best defense, they don't score. And so it's one of those things, you're a little outgunned. What happened? How did it all start? Where did it all finish? Obviously, Angel Reese just keeps showing up. And last night, Angel Reese went in there 29 minutes, 4-10, right? 4-7 from the free throw line, went ahead and...
Irony, she has positioned herself as a representation of bravery, confidence, and self-worth, which is fantastic until your value on the court becomes the joke. You cannot deliver finger paintings and claim to be the blueprint. Monologues don't move the league. Atlanta made it obvious that they demand production, and Angel hasn't simply failed to meet their expectations, she's constructed a vacation house there. They eliminated the Sky, not just outperformed it. Additionally, it seemed as though Reen Howard was highlighting the difference between hype exaggeration and actual impact. Each time she dumped a bucket, Ree was dropping things while Howard was dropping jaws. One appears to be a potential league MVP. It appears that the other is still attempting to locate the GPS. Although it's a harsh reality, it must be spoken aloud. This team has not been significantly impacted by Angel Reese. No Natada, she has repeatedly only contributed disappointment. She brought fizzle instead of the pyrotechnics that were expected. The Chicago Sky are at the bottom of the barrel, and it has nothing to do with a voodoo curse or bad luck. Their star player is allergic to commitment and consistency, which is why. However, perhaps she is simply waiting for the ideal opportunity to flourish. After the team completes 331 and everyone has left for home, perhaps then the magic will be revealed, or perhaps we are witnessing the big unraveling in real time as Angel Reese's 15 minutes of fame began to run out the moment she put on the jersey.
Angel Reese and Chicago Sky fall to Atlanta Dream. What went wrong? 88-70 was the score, and pretty much the whole game it was back and forth. Actually, in the beginning, Howard made a career high 9 3-pointers, tying the WNBA single game record, and finished with season high 36 points as the Atlanta Dream beat the Chicago Sky 88-70 on Friday night. In addition, Atlanta's Brittany Griner moved into second place on the WNBA career blocks list, passing Lisa Leslie. Howard broke the Dream's franchise record for 3-pointers in a game.
And nothing has changed as we approach the last seconds. Angel is out there ghostwriting her excuses, while other players are writing their legacies, and the media circus that previously supported her has gone disturbingly quiet. You can practically hear the tumbleweeds rolling through her stat sheet. She wanted attention, and now she has it, but it's not flattering. This one is shockingly honest and fluorescent. The supporters are not stupid. They are observing. They can see the work and the results. They are currently asking why their crew is wasting oxygen by acting as though the experiment is still functioning. The Chicago Atlanta wasn't the only team to fall to Sky. They were made public. It wasn't rumors or criticism, but rather a scoreboard that shouted, "This team is not okay." Angel Reese isn't merely performing poorly. She is turning into a symbol of unmet expectations and the epitome of what occurs when hysteria crashes into reality and bounces off the edge. Someone please switch the channel if this is the superstar era she promised. Because Angel is still trying to convince everyone that she belongs at the table as the rest of the league silently moves her chair away. even as the league continues to change and true talent climbs to the top.
The general manager, Jeff Pagliocca. Is it Pagliocca or Pagliosa? You guys know I'm bad with names. But pretty much, he's opened up the publications about his team's performance and shared his thoughts on how Angel Reese could contribute more to their team's goals, and admits he's disappointed with the start to the WNBA season. What did you expect, Jeff? You sold your future for the present. You really had in your head that Angel Reese is a #1 talent. She's a superstar. And you guys continue to inflate her head, inflate her mindset, which feeds the man.
And that's how you go from being the talk of the town to being the season's afterthought. Ladies and gents, Angel Reese was Mia in practice, but MVP in theory. The Chicago Sky, meanwhile, are still in free fall. And their fans' patience is the one factor that falls short of their win percentage. The grace and coordination of someone slipping on a banana peel and landing on the winning lotto numbers is evident even when Angel Reese does score. In an attempt to determine if the ball actually went in or whether the scoreboard malfunctioned out of sympathy, you blink twice. There's, as we're talking about her legendary effect, let's give her a standing ovation because Angel Reese is now the first player in WNBA history to reach 100. A trajectory, yes, but one that isn't controlled by any known laws of physics. Instead of rebounds, Reese bounds. Boundaries of Reese, it's not about second chances. You know, when she clutches her own miss because she was the only one who was confused enough to pursue it, not because she's working hard. It's about getting over the harm she caused herself. There is a one-woman ping pong competition going on.
We, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to talk about the things called Angel Reese and the WNBA. This is actually starting to make the rounds. I just can't get over it. Angel Reese is the first player in the WNBA this season to reach 100 rebounds. Farkacast, who, yeah, I thought I was following. 50 me bounds. 98 were her own misses. God. Oh, I love this one. An oldie but goodie. Exactly. They hate you online but love you in person. She rebounded her own tweet.
Found the trademark move in which you throw the ball into the air as if it didn't matter and then run after it as if it did. Chaos is happening. It's the boomerang of basketball. She makes a shot that isn't even close to falling, but the audience watches in real time as she instantly turns into her own rebound chaser, as if she had planned it all along. The funniest part is that the commentators keep making it seem like she's rewriting the rebounding textbook, but in reality, she's just trying to clean up mess. When someone sweeps the glass they broke themselves, it's like awarding them a medal. Nobody else is even half the time close to the paint because they are aware of how this story ends. Opponents are too busy jogging back on offense. They've seen the teaser. Brick scramble response. The ball keeps adhering to Angel Reese's hands with each clank shot she takes from the realm of misfires. So at this rate, she could be sponsored by Gorilla Glue. She would be inducted into the Hall of Fame tomorrow. If effort were the only statistic that counted, but this isn't a charity league, and the objective isn't to see how many rebounds you can pull down from your own missed layups. The objective is to intentionally make shots plural.
Sky, I don't know what the y'all got going on, but that coach y'all got, y'all need to fire his ass. If I knew his name, I'd flame his ass right now, but hey, he is not a good coach. Teresa Witherspoon, I think her name was, right? She a good coach. She is way better than the coach we got right now in Chicago. Angel Reese. It's gonna be okay, girl. We're gonna tell you just leave or something. Like, damn, she is too good to be wasting her goddamn time out there. And y'all stun her goddamn grown. She already can't jump like that, but she play hella defense and she got heart. And y'all ripping her heart to goddamn trash. Chicago Sky, get this together. What the?
Furthermore, these aren't particularly clever basketball plays. Let's face it. Dennis Rodman isn't figuring out bounce angles here. This is merely desperate scurrying. In a 5-on-1 exercise she created, she appears to be playing against herself half the time. Reese does an interpretive dance of miss it, chase it, miss it again, scream into the void while the other players stand around. At least she's active, though that's more than can be said for the remainder of the Chicago approach, which recently seems to be centered on hoping that someone may happen to make a wise choice by accident. It so happens that Reese is the most lively aspect of the pandemonium, like a toddler giddy with fruit snacks and dreams. She's out there crashing her own party with everything she owns. The effort is there, but it's all in the wrong place. Similar to AGPS with a grudge, the scoreboard operators are also worn out, as 6 possessions or just 1. The defense has already arrived at the concession stand and placed an order for nachos. By the time Reese finished grabbing her 3rd rebound during the same trip down the floor, the supporters' attempts to follow her around have caused whiplash. It's performance art with a scoreboard, not basketball.
To see is the now development in year 2 for Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese, and what that's going to look like to become one of the best front court tandems in the WNBA, with now a year of chemistry underneath their belts together. I feel like for them to really take things to another level, they're going to have to be the most physical and productive front courts to ultimately help this team push forward for that playoff race. And I want to see more high-low action between them. And just overall, Angel Reese, what she has done this off season has been incredible to see how she has grown.
She reminds you, nope, that would be too easy, just when you think she might break the loop and make the bucket on the first try. This lunacy has a beat. Repeatedly enter the paint after missing the crash rebound kick out. Every quarter, it feels like the same old loop. She would have won MVP by halftime if the WNBA awarded points for perseverance, but sadly, medals aren't given out for nearly all of them, and hustle doesn't always negate accuracy. Finally, you have to make the basket without requiring 3 rebounds and a prayer. All of the smashing and spinning must eventually result in something, but it hasn't so far. The rebounds aren't helping the team move up over 12th position, even though they might make for amusing highlight reels and bloated box scores. They aren't motivating the group or intimidating the opposition. They are merely the most recent sign of a system that prioritizes flair above substance. Sure, Reese is making headlines, but she's also repeatedly grabbing her own bricks.